All right, everybody. How are you today? Hello, Irish. How are you?
Hi, Kimmy. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. So glad to be here with you on this Saturday afternoon. And we just want to say hello, everybody, and welcome to our broadcast. So, this is my business partner, and she is the only one, Miss Irish Wimbush.
Absolutely.
All right, absolutely. Irish, why don't you give us a little bit of background about yourself as we share today?
Sure, no problem. Well, as Kimmy mentioned, I am Irish, the one and only. None like me, none before me. I thank God for that. But I am born and raised in South Georgia, in Blakely, Georgia, and left Blakely, went to school in Albany. And from Albany, I ventured out to the big city of Atlanta, Georgia, where I worked with private dental practices as well as insurance companies. I worked for Cigna for a while and then back into the private dental sector. And then I got pregnant. And once I got pregnant and had my son ready to go back to work, not a job. I didn't have a job anymore. So here I am, got a 6 month old son and no income, no employment. So a friend of mine told me about UPS and they were coming to Atlanta. And this was back in 1991. So I gave her my resume and she worked for the Department of Labor at the time. And I was able to get an interview with UPS. Actually had 3 interviews with them and got hired on at a higher salary, I was told. At that time, I was already making like eight something an hour back in 1991. And then at that time, after working with UPS in that capacity for a while, I got promoted. Not as much as I wanted to, but I did get 1 or 2 promotions while working there. In my 27-year career, I was able to do a lot to help retired employees as well as active employees with their health benefits plan. So that 27 years was up in June of 2018 and I joined the retirement crew, which is a good thing, at a very young age, at age 55. So a lot of people can't say that you were able to retire at age 55, but I was. But I wasn't ready to stop working. So, here I am. We're business partners. And, we're doing some great things with our company, Wealth Wave, in the How Money Works company. So I'm excited about being here. I'm excited about the information that we're learning. I'm excited about what we do to help families, Kimmy, because when I saw this, it was just a perfect fit for me. It
Well,
was
thank you for
something that I
sharing.
should. Yep.
Thank you. That's a good in-depth introduction.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Well, everybody, I'm Kemmie Dinkins. I'm your financial coach and educator. And I just, as Irish said, I am excited to be here with her. And today we are sharing because, as she said, we are business partners. And today we're here because we want to talk about why we do what we do. We want to inspire you. We want you to listen to what we say because we know that there is a lot of truth behind it, and we know that you know it too. But we want you to hear it from us. Want you to hear from us. So, like Irish, I too got involved in this business while working because I wanted something in my part time, and I was not satisfied with my pay. Yes, I had the education, had gotten the right position, but I didn't get the pay I expected. So it left me dealing with what we all deal with, student loans, dealing with trying to figure out how am I going to prepare myself for the unexpected by having an emergency fund, just all the things that you should do in life, but when life happens and you're not prepared, you can't do them like you should. So I wanted to go back to Irish real quick and say, Irish, we know that we have some real experiences in this company that are tear jerkers.
Yeah.
And it's not made up. These are real life stories
Yeah.
that we experience with people. We walk through life with people. We get clients, we get business partners, and they have experiences. And through the experiences, we're here. So today, I just wanted us to share a little bit about our company, somewhat who we are. Mainly, you need to know who we are. You need to know why we do what we do, but you need to know why it's so important to us. So, Irish, go ahead. I want you to just share with us, what's on your heart kind of like what kind of has the one customer or client that you remember a story that kind of gives us a good idea of how you got how this whole business got more impressed into your heart.
Well, one of the things that really got me was, and I think one of the reasons why I really started this business is because when I did work with UPS, I dealt with a lot of retirees. I dealt with people who went out on long-term disability as well. And there were times when paperwork didn't go through the way that it should, the process or the procedure that it should have gone through, or for some reason they got denied or whatever. But I've heard stories where people have lost everything, where they've lost their home, where they've lost their ability to earn an income, which was the problem, why they were there in the beginning. But then to not have anything as a backup, you don't have that main source of income coming in, and you don't have a backup for that, then what do? And I saw that and I heard that a lot while I was working at UPS. And it used to like, oh man, if I had $1 million, I probably would have given it all away, because I heard that and it bothered me to say,
Mhm.
I need to prepare myself better, and
Mhm.
it was something that was on my mind before I started with this company. But then the way God did it, it just kind of like fell into place. Getting invited to a women's event, listen to the information, and all the time while I'm listening to the information that's being shared with me,
Mhm.
these bells are going off in my head like ding, 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 ding. You're supposed to be right here. You're supposed to be doing this.
Mhm.
This is what I've called you to do. So that was one of the reasons why I started. And then I didn't want my children to have to worry about taking care of me.
And that backup plan, and that's just like me. As I said earlier, I needed a backup plan. I had a plan A, and I even had a plan B, but I didn't know that I was going to have a plan C. And
Danny.
just like just like Irish, I had to get myself prepared and ready. And when we talk about the business we're in, we're in financial education. We want to educate people about finances, and we do it through number one, helping you get a good understanding.
Right.
Because if you don't know and don't understand how money works, then you don't know what to do with your money. Money has to have an assignment, and if you don't have a plan for having additional income or supporting your retirement, then probably with the way prices are changing, with inflation, with war, then you're probably not going to be ready to take on the challenges that so many people are facing right now in
Right.
COVID, during COVID, and even during this prolonged period where we have no idea when this situation is really going to end. So it's
Right.
crucial that you have a backup plan for your finances. It's crucial that you have more than one stream of income. And that is just what we do. We help you figure out how to get yourself organized, how to prepare yourself, how to have more than one stream of income, how to have more cash flow. Say more about that, Irish.
Yeah. Kimmy, that's just like it is. When we were raised up by our parents, they gave us money, and what we do with it? We spent it. Some of us
Mhm.
saved it. Some of us might have saved some of it, but we went to the candy lady. We went to the candy store growing up. We spent our money.
Yeah.
And we were not taught to save money. And if we did save, we didn't save a whole lot, or I saved something. But can that amount of saving something get you out of whatever predicament you're in? Can it save you during that emergency that you have? Maybe not if you're not saving. But one of the things that I really think that is important for us to do is not only do we need to save money, but we have to teach our children and how to save money. And I think this opportunity with how money works gives us that chance to do that. Because before this, there were no resources available for us. There was no financial professionals that we could talk to because one, we didn't have enough money to talk to a professional, a financial professional. And as you know, just like I do, most of them are not going to talk to you unless you have a certain amount of money just walking in the door. And even then, the consultation isn't free. You're paying for that out of your pocket. And they're not offering you an education. They're just offering you a way to help you with your money. And it's not always the perfect way because one, your money is at risk, especially if it's on the stock market,
Mhm.
and their objective and their goal is to make money. And
Yeah.
they're making money off of you. They're making money off of your principal. They're doing, yeah, we're making money too, but the good thing about us is the company pays us, not our clients. And that's something that I think a lot of people don't understand why a financial education is so important. 5 billion
Mhm.
people worldwide are considered financially illiterate. And it's only 7 billion people in the world. So guess what? We in that 5 billion number somewhere. And we just won't admit it. Or we just
Yeah.
don't want to face truth about it in a lot of circumstances.
Yeah, and you're right. A lot of times we don't want to deal with the truth, and that can be kind of hard. But remember this, whatever decisions you make today, they're definitely going to impact your tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
why it is so important that we help teach you. Yes, we're all in business to make money, but what we want to do, we want to teach you how to make smart financial decisions. And not only will we teach you, but we have the resources and the products that will help you when you learn how to make the right decisions to be able to pick the right products that are good for you and your family. I heard one of our coaches say, when you leave, what do you want to leave to your family? Do you want to leave them a trampoline or a hole? Because depending on which one you leave will determine how fast and what they'll be able to do once you're gone. And I
Right.
thank God, I've had the experience myself. I lost my mother, and before she left, I thank God I had gotten involved in this company because I knew all the steps we needed to take in the moment. But guess what? Had I known what to do prior to a situation, we would have really made some outstanding decisions. But we
Right.
worked with what we had after the fact. But what we're saying to you today is don't make the same mistake that we made, that I made. Make better
Right.
choices, and we're here to help you do that. Because when we educate you, we don't just educate you, we educate a whole family. We don't just educate a family, we educate generations. And through generations, we educate communities. And through communities,
Absolutely.
we educate cities. And through cities, we educate states. And through states, we educate regions. So, we're not trying to just touch one, we're trying to touch as many people as possible. And if you said, well, that's not me, I learned about money. My family knew about money. I have money. Well, great for you. But what about your neighbor that don't have the money? What about friends who are still coming to borrow money from you? What
Right.
about when family members die and they're not prepared? They haven't gotten themselves covered, and they're saying, "Well, we got to go do a GoFundMe, or maybe we got to have a bake sale or something." We're
Fish
saying to you,
fry.
you don't have to do the things that you used to do. There are more solutions and there are more opportunities for you to make better and smarter decisions, and that's why we're here to educate you and to empower you. And that's what we intend to do. Isn't that right, Irish?
That's absolutely right, Kimmy. And, I think that's why we're so passionate about this because we've heard the stories. And
Yes.
just like a story you were sharing today, about this young lady, and hopefully you'll tell that.
Yeah.
But we have to definitely look at where we are now financially and be honest with ourselves.
Yes.
I think that's part of our problem is that we won't be honest with ourselves. We won't tell ourselves the truth about that. Where we are financially. We know we're in a lot of debt. We know we can't save money because of debt. And we have to ask ourselves, why are we in so much debt? Because that's really the real reason why people cannot save money today
Yes.
is because of that debt ratio. But working to get that debt eliminated and to get that debt
Yeah.
paid down so that you can start to save money towards your future or even now. And we talk about leaving a legacy, Kimmy, but I think it's also important that we live a legacy. We
Yeah.
have
So,
to learn how to live a legacy.
yeah,
You
and
know,
I like that.
yeah, we get settled. We become settled in who we become and who we are, and we won't stretch our faith. We won't stretch beyond who God is, because we serve a God that owns cattle on 1,000 hills. And like the world is His and everything in it. So why don't we have the best of it? I've asked myself that. You're a child of God. Why don't you have God's very best? And I had to start doing some self evaluations. I had to have some come to Jesus meetings with me, myself, and I So I had to figure this thing out, and I'm glad I did. But I'm glad I had this company to help me do that, because in our training, Kim, and you know it as well as we do,
Mhm.
our trainer and our fearless leader, Mr. Alvin Darius. I mean, Alvin teaches us to reflect on ourselves, who we are, and what it is that we want in life. And my vision was not big before that, and I'm grateful that not only Alvin, but Emma and, some of the other leaders that we have, Andre, that even taught me about my relationship with money. I had a bad relationship with money. I hated having money because it was like as soon as I got it, it was gone. And that was the mentality that I had started to build upon myself. And I think a lot of us are guilty of that. We get this one track mindset
Right, right.
of what we think we should be doing with our money. Whether it's right or wrong, it's still a mindset, but we have to learn how to change those mindsets.
Yes, yes.
And I think learning the 7 money milestones, and we can talk about that because that's really what we bring and we take each of our clients through is that 7 money milestone, making sure that they have those 7 areas covered. And I would just encourage anyone, if you don't know what those 7 money milestones are, you need to get with us to find out what they are and how we can
Yes.
help you conquer those one by one. And it's going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight. Trust me. I have a plan. I'm working out my 7 money milestone, just like Kemmie has a plan. She's working through her 7 money milestones. And it's something new that I'm learning, something new that I'm passionate about, something new that I know I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward in the right direction.
Right. And so with that being said, I mean, Iris, you said a mouthful of so many things. And so when we go back to talking about working out our plan, it comes to planning our work. And I'll just put it to you like this. It's like if you don't understand how money works, and you cannot make money work for you. And
Absolutely.
yes, we have really great leaders, but let me say this. Having great leadership comes with one thing. You got to make a commitment, because we talk to people all the time that say they want to change their life, they want to increase their
Yeah.
income, they want more money, they want to get out of debt. Of course, it's easily said, but if you're not willing to commit, then there goes the issue. So it's about changing behaviors, it's about changing your mindset, and that's what we really help you do, to change how you think about money so that you can really get a better understanding, and then putting the right information inside of you so that you can start utilizing that information to get to where you want to be. See,
Right.
it's not a one person's effort, it is a group effort, because we work with you, because we have coaches, we have more than one coach. So we give you that opportunity to really learn what it means to set a milestone. So we have
Yeah.
7 that you work on, and that when you learn how to work on those milestones, then you're able to think more clearly, you're able to make smart decisions, you're able to be more strategic, you're able to really take the vision that you once had, if you lost it, and bring that vision back to life. And let's just admit it, most of us have lost our vision. We lost the passion to go after what we dreamed about, what we desire. Why? Because somebody told us we had to go to work 40 hours a week, and that we have to work for 30 to 40 years so that we can get a retirement that's probably going to let us about 40% of our income. And that's kind of depressing,
Yeah.
but that's just a start. That's not where you have to finish. And I always learn, it doesn't matter where I start. What's important is how I finish. And today,
Finish.
our sense that we want you to finish on top. We want you to finish as a winner. We want you to finish knowing that you did your very best, not feeling like you're stuck where you are, because you're not stuck. You can move from point A to point B if you're willing to take the risk. People want reward without risk. They want to receive, but they don't want to take the risk in order to accomplish what it takes to receive. So we always talk about, why won't people get involved? Why won't people take a chance on starting a business? Or why won't people take their money and start putting their money in smart places, doing the things that it takes? Because we always bump into places or bump into situations where they say, hey, I need to look at your credit line. Hey, I need to know how much money you have saved in the bank. Hey, what's in your check account right now? Hey, I mean, where are you financially? And so we have what we call a financial DNA discovery. See, when we take you through those 7 money milestones that Iris mentioned earlier, we always start out by identifying where you are. You have a doctor. When you go to the doctor is going to do an assessment. Why?
Right.
Because the doctor wants to find out where you are. He
Right.
can't do anything until he knows what the situation is. And so when you come to us, we're going to look at you and we're going to assess your situation. We're going to look at you and see how are you financially. Do you understand? We're going to see how you are in terms of, have you set up for the unexpected? Do you have a plan for emergencies or things that come up that you did not anticipate? I mean, have you also taken the time to determine what your debts are, how you need to eliminate those, how you're going to go about strategically moving those out the way so that you can increase what your cash flow. You know, we work with you through the process, but first we got to do the discovery. And once we do that discovery, which is, let me add, valued at about $1,500 to $3,000, but we do it with you complimentary. Why? Because we work with middle America, middle income citizens who are hard working. And in our company, we understand that you work hard for your money. That's why we want to teach you how to make your money work hard for you. I
Yeah.
gave up the notion and the ideal of working hard for money. I thought that's ridiculous. That's why I decided to make my money work for me. It just makes
Absolutely.
more sense. My
Yeah.
money can do more, it can work longer. And when I'm asleep, my money can still be working.
Yeah.
And that's the whole plan. And that's the whole concept of what we do. We want to teach you the same thing because we don't
Yeah.
want you to get what? Left behind.
Right.
Because it's important that you know that we have a real mission. We
Yeah.
have real goals. And we
Yeah.
are really concerned about the people that we work with. We just want you to know that. And so, you know, Irish, I will share the story that she asked me about earlier. I've had some experiences in working with people, some that have left me in awe, some that just have left me, you know, thrilled, but then some that just, like I said, they left me just kind of pondering and wondering, but also glad that I was willing to do what I do. So, about maybe, I would say last year, I had a colleague of mine, and I had approached her about what I do, and she said, "I'm so interested. Give me a little bit of time." So I did. So probably by June, she contacted me again, reached out to me, and she said, "You know, I think I want to go in business with you." I said, "Well, great, that's awesome." She said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, let's get together and tell me what all I have to do." So of course, you know, we got together, and she did the basics. We did a background check, got an application. She paid the fee to get that done, and after that, you know, we were on board and ready to go. So as we moved on into the month of June, I said, "So these are the steps we need to take. This is what we need to do." And I said to her, "The first thing to do is get you protected." She said, "I agree. That's the first thing I want to do." And so we proceeded along to get her some protection. And honestly, by this time, it was the month of, it was like mid June, maybe about June 15th. And what was so amazing about the situation was that once we did our application for protection to cover her in the event that something should happen, her children would not be left with a hole but a trampoline. And so we ended up getting her some protection. It only took 3 days to clear her. I said,
Wow.
wow. And she said,
Wow.
wow. She said, "Are you sure?" I said, "I'm a little nervous, but let me double check to see if you're clear." We had gotten her clear. Everything was a go. And I thought, man, that's the fastest I've ever seen anyone get covered. And so after she got covered, we started working on we said we got a whole plan here. So we had decided how we were going to strategically work on her emergency fund, you know, eliminating the debts and then starting to create some cash flow. So we had started working the business side and her plan at the same time. And so 2 weeks later, you know, we were getting together for some business things that we needed to clear up and take care of as we move forward. But she had called me. I had called her and couldn't reach her. And she said, "I tell you what, just give me another week or two and I'm going to give you a call back." Well, by then we were coming to the end of the month. I didn't hear from her. I called again. And she said, "I tell you what, I'm going to call you. Give me about a week or so." So we moved into the beginning of the month. And I said, "Okay, I'm going to wait." She told me to wait to call her. And then I'm going to give her a call. So I did. And so about the second week of the month, I started thinking, I said, wow, I've lost track of time. Let me call her back and see what's happening. And so when I finally did call her, it was the 5th, it was the 16th. It was the 16th of July by that time because we had worked through, you know, some weeks of trying to get things organized. So by the time the 15th of July had come and I contacted her, I got no answer. Well, On the 17th, I got a phone call. And unfortunately, it was a call letting me know that she had passed away.
Wow.
And I was frozen. I was frozen because all I could think was, oh my God, did I do everything that I was supposed to do for her?
Yeah.
Did I take
Yeah.
care of everything? Did I dot my I's? Did I cross my T's? And I had to sit back and I had to first initially get over the shock,
Yeah.
because life happens every day, all day.
Yeah.
And I thought, now didn't I just talk to her? Didn't we talk and didn't we not text and did we not share? And how could it be that today she's no longer here?
Right.
My mind was just struggling. I was struggling with the situation.
Yeah.
And so I finally, after I had come to terms with that, I reached out to, one of the supervisors, one of my business partners that I work with, rather. And I said, listen, can you follow up on some business? I need to know, did I do everything? Are we good? Is everything correct? And she said to me, who is it? And when I told her, she was shocked. And I looked at the calendar, everyone, and recognized that it had been 1 month to the date that she had gotten covered. And all I can say is this, everything has a purpose, a reason, and a season. And when
Yeah.
her and I came together, it was purposeful because
Yeah.
she said, I have to take care of my
Yeah.
protection. I have to make sure that if anything happens to me, that my children are good. I said, I agree. I agree.
Right.
I
Right.
totally agree. And that situation left me thinking about how many times I pass people by because I think they probably don't need my help. They probably have everything together, Irish.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to. I have to. And I remember you also saying that, she'd only paid that initial premium.
That's
You
it.
know, she had only paid that one premium
That's
and
it.
her policy was in effect.
Yes, it
It
was.
was in full force
Yes.
where you were able to give
Yes.
her beneficiaries what they
Yes.
needed as a
Yes.
result of her having done what she needed to
Yes.
do.
Yes.
And that is the difference of leaving a
Yeah.
trampoline versus a hole for
Yeah.
your family. We
Yes.
should never want our families to have to dig their way out of anything concerning us.
Yes.
I know personally, of people who have had to do GoFundMe's because
Mhm.
they did not have the proper protection in place. And that proper protection is the foundation of everything that we do.
Mhm.
Without that, it's like building, what is it, building a cake and your bottom layer is all broken down and crooked and won't stand up straight. No.
Or how about it's like building a house and you have a
Yeah.
poor foundation?
Yeah.
That house
That
eventually is going
too.
to fall apart.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So it is very important for us
Yeah.
to talk about this, to open our
Mhm.
mouths and
Yeah.
to say what it is that we do, why
Yes.
we believe that what we do is very necessary in our time today, because COVID has left us with so many unpredictabilities. I
Yeah.
mean, everything is unpredictable at this
Yeah.
point. We
Right.
don't know what's going to happen. We see gas prices now in $4 and plus range, and
Mhm.
grocery bills are going up. Your utility bills are going up.
Yeah.
One thing I can say about in Albany, they'll give you a miscellaneous fee in a minute and it'd be $1. I'm like, if you charging everybody $1 miscellaneous fee, y'all getting over. Cause I sure asked, what's this dollar for? Why are you charging me $1? What's this miscellaneous stuff? I don't know where my money's going. Why are you charging me that? You know? So
Right.
it's
Right.
like
Right.
we're in a state now that everybody is afraid, that fear
Yes.
factor has set in.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, Kimmy, I have a fear factor for people who don't do anything.
Right.
I have a real strong fear
Right.
factor for that,
Right.
because people who don't do anything are the ones that look for others to do it for them. And
Right.
I think that's wrong.
Right.
I've often heard where people will, what they said, they pay for everything that they want and beg for what they need.
Now that's a mouthful.
You know? And it happens because we don't know how money works. We get money, and the first thing we want to do is go buy an outfit. We want to go shopping. We want to take a trip, and your bills hadn't been paid, or you hadn't even paid yourself at that point. You
Yeah.
know, we have to learn what we're doing with our money.
Yes.
You know, why are we doing it? I had to start asking myself, do I need this? Because I love to shop. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I like looking good. I like to shop, but I like buying stuff that's convenient, makes my life convenient. But I
Mhm.
have to ask myself, is this necessary? Do I really need to do that? Do I have to have that kind of slicer, or I can keep cutting it with my own, just doing it manually? Do I have to have it done the quick way or what? You know, just figuring out
Right.
what I need to spend my money on and what I don't.
And let me speak. I want to speak to that because I don't want people to think we're saying that they can't have the things they want and
Right.
have the things they need. That's not what we're saying. We're
No.
saying that working with us, we show you how to do both. We
Right.
show you how to have and how to get what you want and how to get what you need. It's a process.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
you're willing to, I'm going to go back to my favorite C word, commit to the process because it is so doable. It is so
Yeah.
doable.
Yeah.
You can have both what you want and need if you're willing to do what it takes to make that happen. And I'll say it again, you have to change the way you think. You have to change your behaviors in order for things to happen. In the book that we have, we've been giving away our book. Here it is, the How Money Works book. And in this book, we have the 7 money milestones that Irish talked about. And by the way, let us know if you would like to earn a book because you can earn one. We give these books out. Why? Because we want our clients to be educated. And we want you to know that we're not trying to stop anything you want to do. We're just trying to show you how to do it more efficiently and
Right.
effectively
And
and
do
do
a
it.
better way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. And how to still keep your money. See, it's okay to spend your money if you got it to spend. But
Right.
if I gotta take my medicine money, my light bill money, my gas bill money, my rent money, or my mortgage money to go out and have a good time by getting my hair done or my nails or buying new clothes, that doesn't work.
Right.
That's not good.
Right.
So we're saying that we have better solutions. Yeah, you can
Right.
have the expensive tennis shoes. It's okay if you have that situation set up so that you can do that without feeling the loss or without lagging somewhere else.
Right.
That's all.
Without incurring more debt. Because that's what it
Exactly.
really boils down to,
Yes.
is the incurrence of debt. And our goal is to get you out of debt.
Yeah.
Get you out of debt and saving more money. That's ultimate,
And
you know.
leads you to a place of ownership.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody should be in a position where if you want to own something,
Yeah.
you can do that if that's your desire.
Yeah.
We don't have to walk around saying that someone is keeping something from us or taking something away from us or keeping us down or holding us back. Because if I heard Les Brown say these words, she said, if there is no enemy within, he said the enemy outside can do you no harm.
That's it.
So we're trying to eliminate the enemy within
Mhm.
that wants you to go and spend money you don't have,
Right.
get credit debt that you can't afford, and then not understand how to eliminate that. Because if the credit card company get 24.99% interest rate off of your money from you, and then charge you interest on your payment, why don't you go and seek out getting 24.99 point interest on the money that you have so that you can live and ball like the credit card company is doing
Hmm.
off of your money every day.
Right. Right. Yep. And that's
Now
what they do.
yes,
That's
yes, that's what
that's
they do.
exactly why when we go to the bank and we give them our money and put it in our accounts, and they reward you with those little suckers that they be sitting on top of the countertop.
Mm,
Now that message should tell you something, because that's exactly what they think about you. Why not give you a candy bar? Why a sucker? I mean, think about it. They're taking your money
mm,
and now they're investing your money to make money. But the money that they're making is returning to them faster, like that credit card you was talking about with 24% interest. Oh,
yes.
they're getting double on their money every so many days. You
Yes.
know, it's not even a month. It's every so many days with 24% interest rate. But they're only paying us what, less than 1% interest rate on our money? That just doesn't add up. And I'm gonna be honest, it took me to age 55 to figure that out. It didn't wasn't adding up. And instead of me being embarrassed about it or not doing anything about it, once I learned that, I'm like, oh no, it's time to make some changes here. It's
Mhm.
really time to put myself in a position to win,
Right.
because for so long we had small winnings or small, things that we were able to win, but I want to win big. I want to win big. I want to be in a position where I know God has promised me, according to Genesis 12 and 12, that I will be blessed to be a blessing. And I know without a doubt that is a promise to me.
Yes.
So, and I know that before I leave this earth, it's going to happen. It's got to
Right.
happen because He promised it. So it's on Him. It ain't on me. I'm just doing the work because I know without work, nothing happens.
Right. And so let me say this to Irish, because when we look at the responsibility that we have as people who God can depend on and can rely on, that comes with responsibility. Wealth comes with responsibility.
Yeah.
Having a lot of money comes with what? Responsibility.
Responsibility.
And
Yeah.
so if we're going to be good stewards of our finances, then that means that God can trust us to manage what? His money. Because
Right.
truthfully, we all know that it doesn't belong to us, it belongs to God. And God just us allowing us to manage that money. So I
Yeah.
always say if you can't manage a dollar, why would I give you $100? And
Right.
so it's all about management. It's about taking responsibility, which means you have to make a commitment. And if you're one of those people, asking God, like I was saying, okay, God, I need to get this and I need to get that, I need to get 6 figures. And then God said, how are you managing what I've given you already?
Right.
I said,
Right.
wow, well, what a great question. and I had, and I
Look, I've been asked that question too. Like, what you doing with what you got already,
and I
girl?
thought,
I'm
well,
like,
let me
okay, Lord.
see. And so I had to look in the mirror at myself, as Iris said earlier, and I had to say, well, let's see. I need to do a better job at managing what I already have if I want you to trust me with more. And
Yeah.
that's all we're saying today is that God is willing to bless you. God is not looking out for certain people and excluding other people, not so. But what God
No.
is doing is giving you what you can handle. And so
Right.
when you come with us, we like to teach you how to handle more and how to
More.
handle it appropriately.
Right.
Because if you said, I feel like God has forgotten me, no, God has not forgotten you. How are you managing the $100? How
Right.
are you managing the $5,000?
Right.
How
Or
are
the
you
5 million.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, having money is not enough. Let me be clear. Because
Right.
if God is releasing an abundance of money to you, it's for a purpose.
Right.
It's for a reason.
Right.
And it's so important that we understand what that is so that we can know what to do with what we have,
Right.
use it appropriately, and put money in places where it's going to make a difference, not
That
just
is
in
so
our
true.
lives, but in the lives of others and in our communities. We can build our communities.
Yes.
Our ancestors did it. Our the people that came before us, they did it. They had
Mhm.
vision, they had ideas, and they took that money
Yes.
and they put it in places where it impacted not only them and their family but others. And so
And
to
they
me,
work together too, Kimmy. Don't
yes,
forget that.
yeah,
They
it's all
work
about. That's right.
together,
That's right.
you know?
Yeah, that's right. So we got to learn these things. So when you come with us, yes, are we gonna do a lot of things to really help make you well rounded? Yes. We're gonna give you the tools you need. We're gonna put you in a situation where you can apply the information and see it work in your own life first. And then why we're so adamant, so passionate about doing what we do. Because I really believe in helping people find their way. I can't do it for you, but I can point you in the right direction and I can
Yep.
give you everything you need to help you be a success financially so that you can get on track and be on point. What you think about that, Irish?
I agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree, Kimmy. We work with a lot of experts. We work with people who have experience in this field for 18, 20 plus
Yes.
years. and they've become experts in the field. And that's how we learn, is because we receive the field training from them, and
Yes.
they're able to teach us. So even if you don't work with me and Kemmie, there's somebody on our team that can help you. Trust me. I don't care what situation you're in. We have somebody on our team that's probably have dealt with it, or is dealing with it, or will deal with it. And they know expertly how to get you where you need to be. You know what? One thing, Kimmy, before we go, I want to say this. I think one of the problems with us as a culture is that we stop dreaming.
Mm.
We've stopped dreaming. We've stopped dreaming because we've accepted the status quo. We've accepted the whatever. And I think because of that, we get comfortable. We get complacent. Nothing moves us too much
Mm.
outside of that comfort zone.
Mm.
So I'm going to challenge you guys to move out your comfort zone. No, it's not easy,
Mm. Mm.
but it's doable. If you make up your mind to do it,
Right.
you've got to make up your mind that you want more. You want your family to have more. You know, I can only speak for me, because I know when my family left, they didn't leave me hundreds of thousands of dollars. I had insurance where I could bury them, true enough. But it would have been nice to get a little nice, nest egg to help my children with college, and to help my children with this and that.
Mm.
It would have been. And I think as a culture of people, we don't understand how important it is for us to position our legacies, our generations, our families to win when it comes to money.
Right. And you're so right. I want to say this, that my mother, God bless her soul, we talked about this a lot, about her passing and what would happen. And we started talking about this early when I was a young person. When I was in
Hmm.
high school, she would talk to us about how she wanted to leave us, land, leave us money, so that when she was gone, we would still be able to function and to move forward and do what we needed to do. And
Hmm.
God bless her soul, she did. She left us some real estate and
Right.
a family home, a couple of family homes, and some funds, so that we could have something. She says not a lot, and I'll be like, Mother, why are you saying that? It wasn't a lot, but it wasn't the point. The point was my mother was thinking. She was a pensive woman, and she was very visionary, and she wanted us to be able to move forward, and she wanted us to have the success. And let me tell you something, my mother didn't have college degrees. My mother had a high school education, and she took that and she used her education. After she had gotten out early, she got married early, she had a baby, and she went back and she studied. She got a GED. But I was so proud of her because my mother took what she had, and I mean, she maximized what she had. And I
Hmm.
just looked at her today as my number one mentor, and my father too. But my mother, because my mother had an unstoppable mindset. She had an unstoppable attitude. You couldn't tell her no. You couldn't tell her what she couldn't do, because she was going to go for it anyway. She didn't care about the risk. She was willing to step out there and try. She would say, you know what? You got to try. You got to try. So I'll say to you today, nothing beats a failure but a try. And
Yeah.
so, as we close out today, Irish and I, it's been pleasurable sharing with you and talking to you. But we just want you to know that, the opportunity is right here for you
Yeah.
to reach out to us. As she said, we work with a team of people. And if you add all of our experience together, we probably have over 100 years worth of experience on our team alone. And
Yeah.
not to mention that we're worldwide. We are all over the United States, I should say, and we're
Yeah.
in Puerto Rico. And so
Yeah.
we have a platform that allows us to do business from anywhere in the United States. And so we can teach you about all those things. And we hope that you, number one, think about what we said today. We hope that you consider that maybe it's time for you to make a commitment first to yourself. A commitment then to your family, and a commitment to the vision that maybe you once lost. And I agree with Irish. I think a lot of times we stop dreaming. We lose sight of what we wanted in life, what we initially planned, because what life got in the way, kids,
Yep.
marriage,
Yep.
problems, inflation, everything you could name. But we're saying,
Life happens.
yeah, we're saying to you today, we want you to dream again, and we don't want
Yes.
you to settle. We
Right.
don't want you to become complacent with your
Right.
life. We want you to wake up and say it's possible.
Get
It's
out the comfort zone.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Get out of your comfort zone. Try something
Yes.
different. And we know you have to be careful. That's why we do background checks. That's why we do applications so we can see who we're working with. We don't take
Right.
any of these things for granted. But we
Nope.
want you to know that we're here. You can go to my Facebook page, McNeese Education and Empowerment. You can go contact us as you see on the screen by phone, by text, and let us know that you want to talk. Schedule a consult so that we can sit down with you and make an appointment, and then we can really talk some details about how we can help you make some discoveries about your next phase of your life, about recapturing your dream so that you can live to the fullest and not just exist on a daily basis.
Definitely.
COVID woke us up in a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
COVID was an eye-opening experience, and I'm gonna say to you, if you made it through COVID, think about that. Think
Mhm.
about why you're still here.
Mhm.
And don't
Mhm.
waste another day
Yeah.
existing, but start living your life
Yep.
to the
Yep.
fullest. Yeah.
Absolutely, Kimmy. I totally agree with you. One thing I had to learn is this. When we were raised, we were taught in school, but we were taught to get a job. We were
Yes.
taught to get a good job, so that we could take care of our families. But the
Hmm.
one thing we didn't realize is that somebody else controlled how much money we made.
Oh yeah.
Somebody else controlled our time, because and I can say this because I worked at UBS. I thank God that, even though I was in management, I wasn't in upper management, but I saw them, they never had time off. It was like they worked all the time. Even on their vacations, they were working. And that was something I wasn't willing to do. I'm like, oh no, I have a life. So the thing is, you have to be there at that job at a certain time, getting paid a certain amount of dollars per hour or week or however you're paid. And they have control of how much you make and
Hmm.
how much time you are allowed off your job. Like taking vacation time at whenever you want to, you can't do that. Especially if they said, no, you can't take vacation this week. We need you. You don't have that freedom. I thank God for the freedom. When I was working, I had kids, I had to take care of them. Now that I've retired, my eyes have been open. Only thing I regret is that they weren't open sooner. You know, Only thing I regret is that my eyes were not open sooner. So
Right.
we
Right.
just
Well
have to learn
said.
to control our time and control our money.
Right. Right.
And
We
that's it.
do. We
Yep.
do. And that's it. So thank you, Irish. I'll say this too, and then we're not gonna be like the preacher, we really gonna close. But but
We got to
I'll
say
say
that amen at some point now.
I will say this because I definitely have enjoyed this sharing that we've been doing. But I'll say this, of course, when we growing up, they teach you to go to college and get an education. And I'm gonna say this honestly about my mother. God, I tell no lie. She would always tell us. She said, "You need a business." She said, "You should think about doing this on your own." And I never quite understood,
Right.
but my mother didn't just talk about it. She actually went into business on her own. And I knew she had no prior experience, but she just launched out. And I watched her just do this because she would say to me, she said, while you're in the bed and while you're in there sleeping at night, she said, I'm up thinking about my next move. I'd be like, okay, mother, I get it. And she was not kidding around. She actually made that happen. So I say to all of you, I want you to think about your next move. And I want you to think about what you want to do and then ask yourself, why do you want to do it? And if you believe that you want to give us a try and go with us, definitely we invite you. We encourage
Yes.
you to reach out to us and at least let's talk about it because the training that we give you, you can take it to any business model. And let me tell you, it works
Yes, it
because it
does.
works here and
And
it'll
those training
change you.
And
It'll
the
change.
training models that we give you, is on demand. You can do it on your own. You can do it with us. I mean, it's just so many different available resources out there for you. There's no excuse. There's no
Right,
excuse. Let's
right.
do it, guys.
All
We're
right. Well,
here for you.
yes. Well, thank you so much, Irish. Thank you. Love you,
Thank you,
Irish.
Kemmie.
All right, everybody. Take care. Have a great day,
All
and
right,
we'll be
guys.
looking
God
forward to
bless.
hearing from you. Take care.